Now, we'll focus on how disorders of adipose tissue can contribute to metabolic diseases. We'll focus on obesity, which is characterized by excess adipose tissue, and lipodystrophy, which is characterized by lack or abnormal distribution of adipose tissue. Despite the contrasting effects on total mass between these conditions, both can result in lipid overflow and deposition in other tissues, which will lead to complications including insulin resistance, which is the inability of the hormone insulin to properly regulate blood glucose levels, which can also lead to increased risk of type 2 diabetes. Obesity is a complex disease involving many factors and include lifestyle components, which include diet and physical activity patterns, which also interact with genetic predisposition. The plots show obesity prevalence trends worldwide, both in women and men, which clearly highlight the magnitude of the problem, which affects over 600 million people, and also how quickly this evolved over a time span of 40 years. Now, obesity is associated with a vast range of health complications. The most widely recognized are the impacts on endocrine systems and cardiovascular systems, which will increase the predisposition to type 2 diabetes and heart diseases. However, there's also many other implications to the nervous system, pulmonary, immune system, and even increasing the risk of some kinds of cancer, which then really shows the wide ranging of complications involved with obesity. On the other end, we also have lipodystrophy, which is characterized by the lack or abnormal distribution of adipose tissue, which then can be classified in different types based on its severity, the causes, and genetic predisposition. Here are some magnetic resonance images where we have subcutaneous fat showing in blue and visceral fat showing in yellow. And when we compare to healthy controls here on the far left, we can see different kinds of lipodystrophy cases characterized by both almost complete depletion of all adipose tissue and also other patterns of depletion of subcutaneous adipose tissue and increased deposition in the visceral compartment. Associated with these abnormal patterns of fat mass and distribution, we see a range of increased risk for metabolic complications, including insulin resistance, which will affect blood glucose regulation and predisposition to type 2 diabetes. And how does obesity and lipodystrophy affect adipose tissue directly? Under normal adipose tissue formation conditions, there is a healthy expansion that will adapt to normal calorie intake. Under conditions of prolonged calorie excess and other preconditioning factors, there's unhealthy expansion of adipose tissue, leading to abnormal patterns of hormone, lipid, and inflammatory cytokine release, which will further impact metabolic health. In conditions of lipodystrophy, either due to the impaired formation of adipose tissue or due to acquired factors leading to the depletion of adipose tissue, we also see abnormal hormone release patterns that will impact metabolic health.